Good evening, everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes and demonstrate a line change in APBA Hockey. I'm going to play the last time segment of this shift. So you can see on my little trackpad here of this mat that I have, which is very closely resembles the game. I'm sorry, I don't remember who I got this mat from. Wish I could give you credit, but it is a great mat for APBA Hockey. And you can see that that should be second period. We're in the second period, and this is my little trackpad I use. It's kind of sacrilege to me to write on mats and stuff like that, but in the way to streamline the game, what I do is I use my green token to signify which time segment we're on. So you can see we're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I've circled the times where you do a line change. So at the end of the segment, we will do a line change. And then I've also wrote in them the shot number. So as the shots go in a game, instead of taking time to write it down on a piece of paper, I just will slide it. The yellow is always for the Predators because that's kind of their standard color. And then I'll use this purple one for the other team. And then at the end of the period, I'll write down on my score sheet how many shots each team had, and I'll reset these. If there is a power play, so if a power play comes up, I'll put this red token. So if a 2-minute power play comes up, I'll put that red token up there, and that's just my reminder that the power play is over. When it's over, if there's a power play stacked on top of another power play, I've got another red token over here that I will put down wherever that's going to end. So it really kind of helps me stay organized and keep things together. So we are at 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the second period. The Predators have a defensive zone. So this little black puck represents the defense, or represents the puck. I have a face-off in the Predators defensive zone. So I'm going to demonstrate just a little bit of APBA Hockey out of the box. We'll see how much I do with this, but here we go. I at least want to show a line change using the ODAI. So I know a lot of people struggle with the ODAI, but what I do is I use this little trackpad right here, and whenever I do a line change, I will set the ODAI. So you can see the Preds right now add 1 to Winnipeg because they're playing Winnipeg, and Winnipeg adds 2 to Nashville. If they're in the right zones. Another thing I did that's kind of sacrilege, but just to help me remember, is I drew in the APBA game book because you only use ADAI between 1 to 7 and 10 to 20. So up here in 1 to 7 and 10 to 20, I drew a little blue box around those, just to remind myself those are the PRNs that I have to make the ODAI adjustments for. So without further ado, let me try to demonstrate a couple a line change. So here we go. We're going to get a 3, and the Predators have a Ryan Johansson's faceoff is a 5. He's going against Paul Stastny, who's a 4. So my +1 is right here, and a 3 is advantage to the left wing. So Johansson wins that to Sissons. Then we just flip over here to the defense wins, or we're in the defensive zone. So the Predators are going to try to bring that out of the zone. And let's see what we roll here. We roll a 44. So Sissons, a 44 is a 1. And we can see not only do the Predators get it out of the zone, but they work the puck around and they actually get in a shot on goal here. So Sissons' shot range is a 15. Let's see if he can get inside range. He cannot. So the Predators are going to get an additional shot. So they're up to 5 for the period. But it's just going to be a regular save on Hellebuck's card, 66. We all know that's a 1. 1 goes to the left defenseman. So he saves that to Morrissey. And now a time segment goes off of the game clock. So we're going to do the on-the-fly change, and we rolled a 46. So a 46 is going to go to the opposing left defenseman. So this goes down into the Predators zone. Matisse Ekholm picks that up, and we're gonna do a line change for Winnipeg. So all I do is, as I switch these cards, I just add up the team defense in my head. And as Kurt Berglund says, this is the kind of math that sends the kids straight to the streets. So we just go Connor, he is a 3. Stastny to Little, he's a 3, so we're up to 6. Myers to Wheeler, right wing, we're up to 10 because he's a 4. Bufflin to Trouba. Right D is a 2. So 12. Left D, Kulikov is 15. So according to the chart here, 15 is a 0 adjustment. So we're gonna slide this back up, and now we're all set. Boom, done. It's gonna stay that way until I need it. Don't have to look for individual matchups. Don't have to check for any of that. Just playing it straight out of the box. So it's not too bad. But now let's just finish off this corner battle here. So we're gonna roll to see if it is who is fighting with Ekholm in this corner. And that all depends on this puck right here. So a 1, 2, 4, it's gonna be Blake Wheeler. His corner battle, so we look down here at the C. On offense, he's an 8. Against Ekholm, his corner battle is a 10, so Ekholm wins that. So now Nashville has to do a dump and chase to get their line fresh. So they roll a 63, and you can see a 61 to 66 is going to be icing. So they ice the puck. Now we got to do a defensive face-off again. So the way I handle that is I just keep Nashville on the ice. If they win the puck, then once they get the puck, then they've got to ice it again. So not ice it, but then they've got to do a dump and change again. So let's give it a go. This time we still got Johansson, who's a 5, and now he's going against Little, who's a 4. So the Preds still have that +1 advantage. Let's see if I can do this quickly. I'm at 11, +1 is going to be the advantage to the right D. So Johansson pulls it back to Subban. He needs to do a dump and change. And of course, again, we roll a 62, so it's another icing. So here we go again. We roll a 4 on the +1 column. That is going to be a disadvantage to the lefty. So this time Kulikov wins it. They're in the offensive zone. So Kulikov rolls a 34. A 34 on his card is a 31 on the offensive wins chart. So a 31 is going to be a pass to anybody he wants to pass it to. However, if the Predators are can intimidate up to 14, then their left wing will get the puck. So you just look at this intimidation rating. We got a 2, 5, 8, 10, 13. So they don't get it. So it's still in the offensive zone. We're gonna say Kulikov passes it to Brian Little, and let's see what he comes up with. 26. 26 is a 16. So it's my understanding once you only do the offensive zone chart once. So we got a 26 on Brian Little's card. So now we're on the standard chart. A 26 is a 16. So that is going to be, as we zoom in here, taken away by the left wing of the Predators. So Colton Sissons takes it away. And remember, they're still trying to just get the puck. And that's going to be a time segment. Colton Sissons, 42. Oh, he's trying to get rid of the puck, so 42. It's going to go to the opposing left D, and we got to dump and chase again. So it's going to Kulikov. Now the Predators go off of the ice. And let me just demonstrate this, setting this down here. Hopefully you can see it. So we got 4 8, 12, 16, 21. So I just take my little 21. So here's 21. You can see is a 21 and forecheck 2 is going to be a +2. Like I said, Kirk Berkelund says that's the kind of math that sends kids straight to the street. So now I'm just set to go until I have to do another line change. So the Preds are sitting here at a 2, and Winnipeg is sitting here at a 0. And now I'm off and running, just regular hockey. So let's do our next roll, probably the last one here. 36 on Kulikov's card is 33, and that's going to be a penalty check, a coincidental penalty check, just from knowing the charts, on a 2 to 8 with the time segment gone. So move the time segment, and I got a 5, so it is going to be a penalty check, and that's probably a video in and of itself. So we're going to call it a video there, because I'm going to stop and do this penalty check. Hopefully the Preds will not get a coincidental, and it will just stay a penalty on Kulikov, and the Preds will score on the power play. They're already up 1-0. So go Preds. Thanks for the video. You guys have a good evening. Or thanks for watching the video. You guys have a good evening. Bye.